hard to admit that I used to draw portraiture in a human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn. It was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth to refuse to belong. No name news.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one of the more dangerous pass rushes. The Browns are top 10 in total sacks, and they'll be up against a Seahawks team that will need to deal with that all game. With that, let's get you out to Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis. They've got the call of this Week 9 matchup.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Guyton, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Let's just go ahead and go back to that play with his eyes, because he's got to read his keys. Run or pass right off the top. You're probably going to read an offensive lineman to see if he sets up in pass protection, or if he fires out for a running play. The next thing is you're going to check and see what the back's going to do. If he ends up with the football, okay, now you got to check and see. Does an offensive lineman come downfield and try and block you? Are you going to try to elude it? Are you going to take him on and hold your spot? What are you going to do? In this case, didn't have to do any of that. Saw all of his keys, saw the play in front of him, and ran clean to the ball carrier and finished off the play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw, and he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. All week in practice, they stressed grounding, pounding the football, and they really executed it well there to get the first down.
That usually means getting back to being physical in practice, because when you emphasize pounding the football, it doesn't really come together unless you practice it the same way you're going to play it in the game. That means more bodies, more pads, and a whole lot of popping last week, and they got it done in the game.
And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. To throw again, and he comes back with one complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. So completion on second down, that brings up third. Now some movement before the snap, and we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So the D-line's going to spread out. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They've got to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. 11 yards on the pickup, and the Browns are going to have a first down.
And that run was with a lot of...
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's got it across midfield and down to about the 47-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And the cutback to the sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know it's really hard for a big-time running back? It's patience. Being able to hang in there when the runs aren't there, when you're taking some hits early in the game. But this drive, oh, he's come alive, and in a big way. Now he's starting to gallop. And
they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Second down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll cut it to the left, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now the Browns defensive unit trots back out. Obviously a close game from the defensive standpoint. Maybe don't want to blow it too much out of proportion, but how important is this drive?
I think it's huge for them because they've got to find a way to help out their offense, whether it's doing it themselves, taking the ball away and scoring, or setting their offense up in a good position to give them a chance to fully be back in this game.
Sometimes that defense triggers the offense. We'll see. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Let's see what they go to here on 3rd down and 6. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
12 yards there as they move the chains. Time to step aside. More from Cleveland after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They're going to look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case,
and now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Browns have moved out in front.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Out of the gun. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Legs still churning. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. This will be fielded at the 17. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Now a handoff looking right. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Here we go. Boom, Landy. Good. Let's go. Hurry up, here we go. Boom, Landy.
So we have reached, well, that came a little abruptly here. So working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. We focus our attention on the Seahawks defense now. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
And I can just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes. First series of the second half. Offense or defense, you've got to set the tone.
They'll try to set that tone here. 3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up, make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
No, so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So back-to-back games here of great production and just You know, his cuts, they're so quick last week and this week.
That comes from confidence, I think. He understands what the defense is trying to do, but I think he has so much belief in his offensive line that he's just saying, the block's going to be there. I'm not worried about it. And we saw that last week. In fact, they were so good last week on the flight home. I actually plugged in the game and watched the offensive line play one more time. I was so impressed by them. And they're carrying it over to this week. And, of course, when you got big-time runner behind them, that's a pretty good combination.
Doesn't hurt. And they'll run it here. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come out here in the eye. Now they try the right side here. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And the tackle's made there by one of the secondary members. And I can guarantee you, having played that spot in the huddle right now or on the field, they're urging for a little bit more support from the guys up front. I actually remember one game where I hopped over a defensive lineman to make a tackle downfield and realized he was 10 yards downfield. That's not good. That's being driven off the line of scrimmage, and you can't have that if you're going to win a game on defense.
It'll go as a gain of 12, and it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
He'll drop to throw. Fighting through. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Taken in at the 11. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Cutback, left sideline. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it's good enough for a Seattle first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Back to throw, and it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he's going to be unable to get upfield as they take him down at the 21-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and it may be a guard.
Oh, the Seahawks come after after it, and they block it. This is a live ball, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not.
Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And now here's a carry heading left. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.